For many of the faithful, praying to a favorite saint or image of Our Lady is a common daily activity. But do you ever wonder about their geographical origins? For those who do, the Diocese of Springfield has made it possible in recent years to travel to these sacred destinations. Father Gary Daly and Bishop Mitchell Rosansky accompanied a group this past July on a pilgrimage to Poland, Vienna, and Prague. Our chief videographer, Bill Pekosha, tagged along, camera in hand, to bring our viewers a first-hand account of these beautiful locations. Part 1 in our pilgrimage series begins now with our somewhat weary travelers landing in Poland and spending the first couple of days visiting Warsaw and making their way to Jasna Góra and the shrine of Our Lady of Czestochowa.
We are on pilgrimage. Join us as we visit the sacred sites and the beautiful countryside and landscapes of Poland and Vienna, traveling from there into the Czech Republic and concluding our journey in the glorious city of Prague. Travel with Bishop Rosansky and participate with us in the many grace-filled events of this magnificent pilgrimage. We arrive in the capital and the largest city in Poland, Warsaw. Our stay in Warsaw is brief, stopping to celebrate Mass at the Church of St. Stanislaus Kostka, where the remains of Blessed Jerzy Popieluszko, the Solidarity priest murdered in 1984, are buried.
And certainly for Father Jerzy Popieluszko, he saw his people persecuted. He saw them not able to practice their faith the way they wanted to. He saw them living in the slavery of communism, and he wanted them to be freed from that slavery. But he did not preach a gospel that advocated violence. Rather, he preached a gospel that advocated truth. And in that word of truth was the power to overcome evil.
After Mass, we take a short bus ride to Old Town, which is a tourist hub, with cobblestone alleys and medieval buildings reconstructed after World War II. It suffered a great misfortune when Nazi Germany bombed and leveled the city of its beautiful buildings. But as we learn about the Polish people, nothing can get them down. And with faith and determination, they rebuild. We enjoy some great Polish cuisine before we make our trek to Czestochowa for an overnight. Today with the Pilgrims, we'll be on tour to learn more of the history of this great image, this miraculous image of Our Lady of Czestochowa, dating back centuries. This is the spiritual capital of Poland. Millions of pilgrims come to this shrine every year. Pauline, Father Simon, our tour guide through the monastery, gives us a brief history of this holy place.
The Pauline Father expanded the order from Hungary 1382. 16 of them came, fathers and brothers, at those wooden church with the monastery. And God's providence, the Prince, Chancellor of King Louis the Great, touring with holy icon, saving from Tatar, going to the west, and he found a home, and he left the holy icon.
And many pilgrims walk to Czestochowa, particularly for August 15th, right?
Yeah, this is very inspiring tradition, initiated also by Holy Father. And they walk, during the communist time, 55,000 from Warsaw. But now the freedom, democracy, the priests, they walk minimum like 3 days, 5, 6 days from Krakow, 9 days from Warsaw, and 20 days from north of Poland. They call it a retreat in walking. It's a great spirituality because Father here in confession walking. They read the Bible, question and answer. They Holy Mass in historical places. There is great inspiration.
Legend tells us that this icon traces itself back to St. Luke, who painted it on a cedar tabletop from the house of the Holy Family. It is said that St. Helena discovered the icon in 326 and brought it to Constantinople and presented it to her son, Constantine the Great. Our Lady was given the honorary title Queen of Poland and is very dear to the Polish people. The icon, also known as the Black Madonna, has a rich history through the centuries, much of which entailed attacks on the image itself. Most notable was the attack of the Czech Hussites in 1430. 5 religious were killed and many of the golden vessels of the church were stolen. including the icon which was loaded onto a wagon. Descending the hill from Jasna Góra, the horses stopped and could not move. One of the soldiers hurled the icon to the ground and it broke into 3 pieces. But the face of Our Lady and Jesus remained intact. The Hussites took a sword and slashed the Virgin Mary's face twice. When King Jagiello took the icon to Kraków for restoration, they attempted to fix the scars in the Virgin's face. But after all the attempts, the scars kept coming through, a perpetual reminder of the attack on the icon. This would always be a reminder to the Polish people of courage in the midst of suffering, for indeed the Poles would suffer greatly at the hands of communism and attacks on both sides from the Germans and Russians. Our Lady of Czestochowa would be a consolation and protection for them in times of trouble. It is for that reason that people come to this shrine with great devotion and reverence for Our Lady.
The visit to Czestochowa was very impactful to me, where the Black Madonna was there, and you had people on their knees walking around the throne, and you had many other people there waiting, and I didn't see the same thing when we went to Vienna or even here in Prague. You don't see that.
One of the highlights of our time at the shrine is the celebration of Mass at the altar of the icon, a rare privilege, a concelebrated Mass with Bishop Rozansky.
And so as we come here today with great thanksgiving, with great joy, before the image, the icon of Our Lady of Czestochowa, we too ask Mary to intercede for us, to watch over us, to protect us, and always, each and every day, lead us closer to her Son, the author of life and our salvation.
We're standing here in the upper level of the sanctuary of Jasna Góra, and in this particular area are the Stations of the Cross that were painted in the year 2000 for the Jubilee year by Jerzy Duda Gracz. What's very interesting about these Stations of the Cross is incorporated a lot of the history of Poland. And behind me is the Station of the Cross where Jesus is taken down from the cross. And if you notice, Jesus' body is laid on the ground, and behind him is the image of the concentration camp. A very poignant image indeed, and something worth our meditation as we move through this beautiful sanctuary of Our Lady of Czestochowa.
Well, we had a wonderful tour guide who explained all the intricacies of the shrine and had a sense of humor as well.
Any priest preaches less than 45 minutes, the people report him to the bishop is not true priest. Is the same in America? No.
As we conclude our time in Czestochowa, we are given an opportunity to see something that many have never seen before. Father Simon takes Bishop Rozansky and me on a private tour of the cloister. We are led to the library, considered one of the most prestigious libraries in Poland. What a magnificent room, constructed of intricate inlaid wood from ceiling to floor, with shelves containing hundreds and hundreds of books dating back to the 17th century. The large tables in the library were used during the Nazi occupation of World War II as a place to hide the precious icons of the monastery underneath the tables. It has been visited by many notable people, one of them being Pope St. John Paul II. Bishop is given the privilege of signing his name in the registry as a guest, along with many notable visitors through the years. We are brought to the inner courtyard where the monks pray and meditate. In the center is a statue of Our Lady of Czestochowa. It is almost 100 years old and given as a gift during the Marian year. It's very rare to see a statue depicting the image of Our Lady of Czestochowa. I hope you enjoyed this tour of the inner sanctum of the Pauline Fathers and our visit to Warsaw and Czestochowa. Join us next week as we visit the beautiful city of Kraków.